Israeli airstrikes have targeted the southern suburbs of the Lebanese capital Beirut for the fourth day in a row. Lebanese authorities have announced the death toll from Israeli strikes has now risen to 102, with 638 people injured since the escalation on Monday. The Lebanese group Hezbollah has attacked Israel in retaliation for the killing of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Israel has since been bombing Beirut and mobilised troops in the south.
My son went up to prepare iftar. There's nothing here. This is known to be a civilian building and everyone here is a civilian. He went up for 5 minutes to get us the iftar and the missile hit. Just like that. We're not hiding anything here.
This building was a civilian building without any affiliations. Our centre, the Youth Collective, is right across the street. We're a social services centre that tries to help people.
We're going to bring in Nida Ibrahim and Ramallah in the occupied West Bank in a moment. First, we're going to go to Bernard Smith in Beirut. We've been reporting on strikes in southern Lebanon, in Beirut, just in the last couple of hours. Tell us what's been happening.
Well, Rob, the Israelis, in an unprecedented move, have given a forced evacuation order for the southern suburbs of Beirut city. They're just behind me. It's never been done before, and you're talking about an estimated population centre there of upwards of as many as 400,000 people tightly packed into that suburban area. Those people, many of them trying to flee north, trying to flee to the centre of Beirut, trying to flee further north. It's causing gridlock on the roads. We've got the incessant noise of an Israeli drone overhead identifying, one assumes, targets, because it's now bringing the fight with Hezbollah much closer to the centre of Beirut. Yes, also there has been a forced evacuation order in southern Lebanon as well. That Israelis saying Lebanese there should get to north of the Litani River. That's about 25 kilometres from the Israeli border, so an indication of how much space Israel wants to clear beneath there, but also here, according to Bezalel Smotrich, Israel's far-right, extreme-right national finance minister, he said, we're going to turn the southern suburbs of Lebanon into Khan Yunis.
We're going to go from Beirut, we're going to go to Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, and Nida Ibrahim. OK, Nida, Israel strikes in Lebanon have been escalating, as we've been talking about. Let's talk about the ground troops that have been moving into southern Lebanon. What are you hearing from where you are?
Well, the Israeli military officials, including the Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz, have been talking about a security buffer zone, which is by advancing more troops into southern Lebanon under what they call is an attempt to secure the land and secure Israel's borders with Lebanon. That's not to forget that Israel has already been occupying 5 positions that the Israeli forces have been calling strategic in the area. Now it seems that they have a chance to occupy even more lands of southern Lebanon, which is consistent to what they've been demanding and wanting to do of taking out Hezbollah from the area near Litani River towards the Israel-Lebanon borders. Speaking of those borders, by the way, we've just got an alert from the Israeli home front saying that a drone has infiltrated from these areas into the northern areas of Israel, and that's why the sirens have been sounded off and people were asked to remain sheltering. But again, Israel often uses the claim of security as a way to occupy more lands. We see this scenario happening almost everywhere where Israel is involved, including in Syria. We've seen a similar scenario in Gaza, with the yellow line being drawn in a way that allows Israel to stay in Gazan territory, in Palestinian lands, just to say that it needs to be there for security reasons. This is one of the key ways Israel has been trying to impose its control on the territory. Now, moving on, just a short note about Tehran. The Israeli army said that it started its 13th wave of strikes. There again, the same rhetoric, the same goal by the Israeli forces. They say they are targeting the regime's infrastructure and areas of control.
I'm just seeing that a note here on the Reuters news agency saying that the Israeli military is warning residents to evacuate Iran's Abbas Abad and Shisnar industrial areas. Again, that's usually the case ahead of an incoming attack. We're going to go back to Beirut. Let's talk more about the forced evacuation in the south. There seems to be a marked escalation here. We don't yet have any sort of timeline from Israel. We don't have any sort of indication how deep the Israeli forces are planning to go.
No, we don't, Rob. The Israelis have for 2 days now said that this forced evacuation have told the Lebanese in the south of the country to evacuate to north of the Litani River. Hezbollah has said that earlier on it has sent over 23 drones and rocket attacks into Israel since this morning, and it's reported direct confrontation with Israeli troops on the ground in southern Lebanon. It said particularly it was involved in one confrontation with Israeli troops trying to advance towards the southern Lebanese town of Qaim. And that town is about 10 kilometres from the border with Israel. So that gives you an indication of how far in so far the Israelis are trying to get into southern Lebanon, Rob.
And that's Bernard Smith in the Lebanese capital and Nida Ibrahim in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Thanks very much to you both.